What up, Fightful fam, and welcome to your UFC Vegas 19 main event watch along. Curtis Blaydes versus Derrick Lewis. There's so many of these damn UFC Vegas cards I can't even keep track anymore. Hey, I got company today. Ant Walker, Mr. Anthony Walker of MMA On Point, the Body Lock. What is it? Sexiest Man Alive Incorporated. Is that right? Did Ant get muted?
Oh, I muted myself like a dummy. So
here you are. I got
it's probably best I was
you.
muted saying some stupid stuff like that anyway. So we'll just move on.
There you go.
All right, Lucas Grandsire, how's it going, dude? Nice to have you back.
Right, it feels good to be making the big return, and hopefully this main event lives up to the return of the great Lucas. So
Yeah, you want to talk about guys who jump at the opportunity. Every time I hit up Lucas and I'm like, "Yo, UFC 257, Connor Dustin, you want to do a watch along?" He's like, "Nah, bro, can't make it, but I'll be there for Curtis Blaydes versus Derrick Lewis." So.
No, but let me put it into context because you make me sound like I'm kind of a dick. Like, nah, man, like I don't watch that crap. I gotta be up at work at 3 a.m. the next day. So it's like, the card finished at 2 a.m. I'm up at 3 a.m. It's like, as much as I like MMA, like it don't pay the bills like that. So, for anybody who does want to pay the bills, just tossing it out there, just saying.
Let's do it. Anthony, you are muted again. I don't know if you did it on purpose.
Yeah, I did it on purpose.
Okay, I got you. Just making sure. All right, guys, you're checking us out here today on Fightful MMA's YouTube channel, my Periscope, Sean Ross Sapp's Periscope, Fightful on Facebook. Wherever you are, thank you for joining. If you're kind of looking to engage with the community, I recommend migrating over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/FightfulMMA. That's probably where you're going to find the most activity. And guys, the prelims were pretty damn exciting, but the main card's been kind of a mixed bag. What kind of stood out to you guys this far?
I'm still kind of getting over that Michael Chandler thing, but that's been the low light of the card for me.
I can't. So if anyone missed it, they basically did a Black History Month feature on White Savior Michael Chandler. So that was nice.
I thought I was watching an episode of This Is Us for a second. I'm really just.
I mean, Michael Chandler should have known better than to participate. This is for me at least, and I admit I'm speaking from the outside looking in here, but Michael Chandler, from all of my encounters, quality dude. But packaging this, especially during Black History Month, is just so tone deaf.
It's just asinine. All the black fathers in the UFC, all the black, just black people in the UFC, and this is what you do. Okay. It's one thing if you have a segment like this ahead of his fight,
fighting,
or something around him being booked and all that. I get that because they have made a serious effort as far as getting the audience to know who Michael Chandler is. Mm-hmm. So that all right, but to package this as the Black History Month thing when he'd only have a fight book and nothing, get all the way the hell up out of here with that. Yeah, that just pissed me off, man. That pissed me off. But as far as the fights themselves, the Gordon and Chavez fight was fantastic. That was a great fight. I think. What else we had? We had Dawes gassing out and nearly getting finished in the final round. That was an interesting fight there. Spivak answered his call out by absolute destruction of that poor gentleman. So definitely some highlights on this card. This is for something that went on. This is a 13 fight card, I believe, or 12 fight card. Oh, it was 13 fights until the Chad Skelly and Jamal Emmers fight fell off.
Yeah.
That's a long card. It's a long time to sit here and just be watching TV. But I've been very entertained throughout most of it.
Lucas, what stood out for you?
Not too much. You know what I mean? It's gonna be the kind of card that come Monday we already forgot it happened.
$5 says you were not even watching this card.
No, I mean I watched some of it. I'm not gonna sit there and act like I was watching the early prelims or nothing crazy. But listen, we're gonna forget about it Monday. What am I gonna say if the people are gonna be like, oh, the great Lucas brought his analysis? It's a forgettable card, and hopefully it's not a forgettable main event. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, I'll say for me, and Anthony kind of touched on it a bit, but the fact that Chaz Skelly is standing there in the octagon, and I remember tuning in for a moment being like, he's been in like that theme song's been playing for an awfully long time now. And right at that moment, Brendan Fitzgerald comes in and says that Phil Hawes is in the back, major back spasms that lasted, it felt like at least 15 minutes. Like by the time we got to Laura Sanko's update, it was like 20 minutes in and he was still apparently suffering through this. That was, I think, the first time in UFC history that someone is in the octagon. Wait, now I know Trevin Giles got hurt like right before the fight, passed out, but like first time in history that someone is in the octagon waiting for their opponent and they no-show it.
Yeah, I think the only other, like, I remember Matt Mitrione and Stefan Struve, I think at UFC 178, I think it was, that was Nick's like right before it was go time. The only thing I can think of that compares this, I'm not sure if his opponent was in the cage, and forgive me for not even remember who that opponent is, but Kevin Randleman, slipping on like a pipe or something backstage and hitting his head right before the main event. Was probably the closest to this that I can think of. But that's just, I mean, how awkward was that, man? I was watching it while I was trying to get some other stuff done for my day job. And I've got the fight on one screen, I've got my day job work on the other, and I'm typing away and reading some stuff. And I'm like, man, this walkout song been playing for a while.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, this is still going on. Like, well, how is he just crawling to the cage? What's he doing? And then I look and he's just standing there like ain't nobody to hang out with him. So it felt kind of lonely for the man.
All right. For those of you who are experiencing ESPN Plus technical issues, because when aren't you? Derrick Lewis is just making his walk to the cage right now. So I'm going to give a shout out to one person in the comments who said, "Put on sunglasses so we can see the fight." I like it. It's sneaky. Guys, predictions. Who you got in this one? I know, Anthony, you and I just did a round of predictions. First video coming out tomorrow. Lucas, I know we got to film that still. But for this fight, who you guys got, Blaydes or Lewis?
Let you take this one first, Lucas.
All right, so first things first, put it into context. My picks are always wrong. Just know whoever I pick, if you're a betting man, just pick against it.
You should see Alex Kaylee's record over at MMA Fighting. It is.
Oh man,
it is something pathetic.
I mean, it's like, you know, even if I half-ass study, I get it wrong, and even if I were to study and break it down, I'm gonna get it wrong. But stop stalling for a second. I have Curtis Blaydes by 3rd round submission. You know, my thinking is, you know, he's gonna get tired or something, and then he's probably gonna catch him with something. You know, he's got a high level ground game. But because I said that, Derrick Lewis is gonna get the KO in the first round, and then, you know, that's just the history of Lucas's pick. So, you know.
Anthony?
Yeah, man. Like, the reason why I asked Lucas to go first is because I don't remember what I said to you yesterday.
I don't think we covered this one yesterday.
Oh, we didn't. Okay, good. Because I'm like, I don't know what I said. Because I've gone back and forth with this fight so much. Derrick Lewis has all the tools to just destroy any predictions that you make based on real X's and O's. And Curtis Blaydes also shown himself to gas at times. I mean, that Volkov fight, he gassed hard in the 3rd or 4th round it was. The thing is, Derrick Lewis can get taken down over and over and over again and get tired and get beaten up and all that, but he's still going to do exactly what he's going to do, and it still could work. So I'll reluctantly pick Curtis Blaydes wait, I said the wrong thing. I will reluctantly pick Derrick Lewis to win. This is how back and forth I am with this.
So I'll be the tiebreaker here. I'm going to lean towards Blaydes. Now, Derrick Lewis did say he got with a new cardio coach. He'd been trimming down. Does he look any more in shape to you than usual? Do you still believe
Derrick Lewis when he says that before every fight? He's like, I fixed up my diet. I'm not going to Popeyes. Cap every time. Like, I don't believe anything Derrick Lewis says. He's always doing that. He's like, I slimmed down. You look exactly the same.
They had a video package for it this time, man. He was running. He was out there running laps.
Yeah, he was really working out. So yeah, I might believe him this time. He does look a little slimmer to me. And I think even when they talk about it and it doesn't seem to prove true, he still looks a little slimmer every time. I think he's just dialing in that formula. And he had a lot of serious ailments for quite some time as he became a title contender. So maybe now, if all of it is actually fixed, like he fought on a blown out knee for like 3 years or something crazy like that. He had the back issues and all that. So if that is repaired now and he actually can go in there and train as hard as he needs to prepare for a 5-round fight, Yeah, he might have got a little slimmer, and he was training with like the golf shirt on too. So I just wanted to point that out. I just found that really interesting.
Okay. I will. So Curtis Blaydes is now making the walk to the octagon. Quick shout out, guys. If you're on YouTube, please hit subscribe, tap notification bell, leave a like. All those little acts help us get seen by more eyes. Stuff is starting to tick up in the right direction. If you're looking for some fun content, we have UFC fighters reacting to Mortal Kombat fatalities. That was perfectly timed with the new movie trailer. Sometimes even a broken clock is right twice a day. UFC fighters reacting to street beefs, Conor McGregor's trash talk. Top 10 fighters missing from EA UFC 4. That's just some of the stuff that people seem to be enjoying. So we're going to bring more of that. I will say, guys, talking about how much the UFC butchered that Michael Chandler promo. One that I thought they got right was the Curtis Blaydes promo. Like,
yes.
Let's get this straight. When it comes to like on the mic and in the cage, for the most part, he is a boring dude. He's soft spoken. He said it over and over again. He is here to feed his family. So lean into it. And I love that they did a feature on him playing with his I think it's his daughter, his wife, who, holy shit, she is smoking on. Good job, Curtis Blaydes. Very proud of you, dude. I'm getting red just thinking about it. But it's fucking hot in here. I take this AEW sweater off fresh from Pro Wrestling Tees. So I'm happy they look, he's gonna be at the top of your division. Either you can keep like giving him the shaft or putting up against Francis and hoping he never makes it to the title, or just like lean into what he is and who he is and make the most out of that. Because the reality is, these fighters are interesting people in one way or another. They fight for a living. I'm sure if you try a little bit beyond the surface, you can find something to promote. And I think Curtis Blaydes is a really good example of that.
I don't think anyone could say that any better. There's just this laziness that comes with UFC marketing, where if you don't fit a particular mold or you don't just talk trash the whole time, they have no idea what to do with you. That was like the first time I've seen them really attempt to break out of that with someone who isn't necessarily the best self-promoter. Lean into the family man thing. That's kind of cool. Like, I'm a family man. I like to see a family man whoop somebody's ass sometimes. It gives me hope. So why not just do it? And he is someone who is at the top of this division, whether you like it or not. So you might as well get some people to start liking him and tuning in. So kudos for that. And that didn't have anything to do with Black history, which is why like a Chandler segment like that should have been for a Chandler fight.
Yeah.
Good God.
I'm gonna go to the comments section. By the way, guys, if you're on YouTube, if you care to, leave us a little super chat donation. That makes a good impression on the boss. And speaking of the boss, JL points out that Sean would get crucified if he wore an AEW shirt. Well, yeah, I'm on the MMA side, so I can do what I want. And for the sake of context, look, if I'm gonna pay all that shipping money to get myself a Brody Lee t-shirt, RIP, money goes to his family there. Might as well get myself a crew cut, or crew neck, excuse me. All right, guys, we are in the cage. They're announcing Derrick Lewis. Do you think a 3.5? So right now, Derrick Lewis Vegas odds on the screen plus 350 underdog. Do you think that's a little steep, or is it in line with your expectations here?
This is just the last fight I'd want to handicap at all.
Dude, you're struggling over there.
I would just not handicap this like at all. Because it's very possible that Curtis Blaydes is going to be the best version of himself, take down Derrick Lewis, beat him up on the ground, and then Derrick Lewis just says, you know what, I don't feel like being here anymore, and just get up and punch him in the face, and the fight will be over. That is a distinct possibility. So interesting to know. I want to see if Curtis actually has the plan to handle that like weird just bench press get up that he normally does. But I know I digress from the betting, but I don't know what to say on that.
That's okay. They are face to face now. Touch of the gloves. Lucas, very quickly, who do you got? Or sorry, do you think that's a fair wager?
I think so, because people are going, "What's the safe pick?" Safe pick is just Curtis Blaydes takes him down and all that stuff. People are like, "You're not Francis, but you can hit like him." So I don't know, man. But I think it's fair. But like Walker said, I'm definitely not betting on this damn fight, man. I'm watching here live, and that's about it.
So, guys, we're going to put this out there now that the fight has started, because there's a delay between like us filming and that content getting to you. chances are, unless you're on a really, really crappy stream like ESPN Plus, for example, you may be you more than likely are ahead of us. So don't be surprised when I react in real time with you. They're swinging right away, guys. And
Curtis hurt.
Yeah, Curtis got touched already. So,
what time is everyone at? I just want to make sure we line this up as much as
4:24.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm a tiny bit ahead, so I'll stop my clock at 4 p.m. At 4 on the dot, and you guys let me know when you catch up. All right.
Okay. Cool.
Things have kind of calmed down. They're measuring the distance.
Yeah, I like to see Lewis isn't just wasting energy to start with. He's not throwing those wild switch kicks and all that right now.
Okay, I'm at 4.
Up at 4.
I'm at 4. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah. So he looks pretty disciplined in the way he's doing this right now. As normally he would be doing those jumping switch kicks and stuff and just throwing wild stuff out just to see what happens. And he looks very dialed in right now. And Blaydes looks hesitant to come in. I think he felt that power
now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's got to think twice before he just jumps in there. Are we surprised that Blaydes hasn't gone for the takedown yet?
No, because what we just said, like he got hit, and that's exactly what we see. Lewis waiting for that opening, so now he's gonna be hesitant, and hopefully it doesn't lead to a boring fight.
I was gonna say, the day I stopped training jiu-jitsu was the day that I saw Derrick Lewis just stand up. I'm like, why don't they teach that in class? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, see, Blaydes trying to feint a lot too. Mm-hmm. He's trying to measure some reactions there, and Lewis is stoic as ever. Like he's just not budging.
Now, this might be inappropriate to bring up. I don't know why I am, but like Blaydes shorts are just about to fall down, and it's just amusing to me because usually that's Derrick Lewis's MO, right? So
yeah, we got a little nudity here. Like the Blaydes has the plumber crack thing going.
See, there was like a slicker way of saying that. Like you could have just said, "I see London, I see France," but it just went straight with the whole. I can see his ass crack approach.
Yeah, I don't do subtle. I have the finesse of a sledgehammer.
Ooh, Derrick Lewis is just.
Hey, what's going on with his leg? Do you guys see how
weird? Yeah, I think
bent like that.
Yeah, I think it's like when he was in that wide stance, something went wrong.
So I want to go to Sin City NV in the chat, who asked us to show the fight. If you go to YouTube and you subscribe to youtube.com/FightfulMMA. Maybe we'll show the fight. Send me a receipt. We'll talk about it.
Whoa. See, that's kind of the one of the dangers with Lewis. Like you see, it's just welcomed absorbing that leg kick so he could get that right hand off, and he was loaded up to do it again.
Yeah. I think it's good that Curtis Blaydes tries and stand. Like I know obviously that's not the clearest path to victory for him in this fight or in some of the potential other matchups at heavyweight. But I think if you can take this time, especially against Lewis, who's not quite as mobile and not quite as forward-footed as Francis Ngannou, like take some time to get some practice there, right? Like you want to be a well-rounded mixed martial artist if you're going to be champ. He got Lewis. Oh, look, dude, he's mixing it up real nice.
Wow, nice mix that up. Yeah, his balance isn't there right now. This thing is you still just don't want to do that. Like you don't want to take those chances with someone like Lewis. I mean, ask Alexander Volkov what that's like.
All right.
Who by far and away is one of the better strikers at heavyweight. Could outstrike both of these guys in a pure kickboxing match.
Whoa, forever. Nice elbow over the top.
Wow. Well, nice flying knee too. Yeah, Lewis is absorbing a lot of punishment right now.
Could it be that Derrick Lewis's plan is not to waste energy, or was there something wrong with his leg to begin with, and that's why we're not seeing him move quite as much?
This definitely a possibility. If there was something wrong with his leg to start, it's a whole lot worse now because Blaydes has not let up on that leg at all.
And he found the problem too.
It's just a hard one. Oof.
Wow,
dude, Lewis is doing what?
I guess you're saying a fish hook or whatever that's called.
We got eye poke
or eye poke something.
My thing with Derrick Lewis, and granted, there have been reasonable excuse in the past. Obviously, had really bad back problem for a while, but it was like an open hand slap that Curtis caught him with, and the thumb went in the eye.
Strange. Yeah.
But Derrick Lewis never looks great in his fights. Like we saw him against Ilir Latifi, right? The Alexander Volkov fight, he was losing for just about the entirety of it. Like he always has that power, and he's a good MMA fighter, but it's just ugly. It's always ugly with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the guy that's going to put on some sort of like clinic of finesse, or that's just never going to be him. He does what he does, and that's knock people's heads off.
I shouldn't talk so much shit to Derrick Lewis. So when I was with MMA Mania, we did an interview at UFC 244 MSG Masvidal Diaz. He did the entire interview with his eyes closed. At one point, I stopped to make sure he wasn't sleeping, but. I went around that day and I got fighters to do their best impressions of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson because he was there to present the BMF belt. And I will say, I got to give Derrick Lewis the credit because he went for it. He did the whole tongue thing. And when The Rock retweeted, he specifically tagged Derrick Lewis in it. So I owe that man my career.
Derrick Lewis, man, and I had a very interesting hip hop conversation at UFC 229 fight week. So he's a guy who's good for a lot of conversation outside of the regular fight stuff. So, as a person, one of the better people you'll meet in the sport. I mean, this is a guy who was literally saving lives during Hurricane Harvey.
Talk about if you want to celebrate a black man during your Black History Month presentation. There's footage of him carrying people around during that hurricane.
It's like, oh wait, did a white fighter adopt him? Otherwise, it's not a good story.
Let me ask you guys this: his Instagram. How we feel about his Instagram? Overrated, underrated, just right? Like, how we feel about his Instagram?
It's beautiful. And I will not tolerate slander for his IG account, sir. You stop it right now.
Curtis went for the
slander? I'm asking a question.
No, because you was implying that it was overrated.
No, I'm implying nothing. Like, I'm asking.
I didn't like your tone, young man. I didn't like it.
I think Lucas has met his match here.
Getting hostile with me. I'm just asking a question, man.
Yeah, those are questions you don't ask, young man. Don't do it.
Like
Blaydes is up 27-3 on the significant strikes, and I'd say Ant Walker is up 1-0, 10-8 that round against Lucas Grandside.
I didn't even throw a jab. I didn't even realize we were in the cage. He just jumped all over me.
Yeah, protect yourself at all times.
That's my fault. I get my hands down on that one.
Man, that front leg of Lewis is jacked. Like the way he's trying to plant weight on it, and his foot is slipping.
Barely moving, dude.
Yeah.
So we pretty much guarantee it's not going 5 rounds. Just.
He knocked him out cold.
He knocked him out cold. He knocked him out cold.
Yo.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He knocked him out cold. Oh my god.
Dude, he's out.
This guy.
Man, even you were counting him out there for a second, Ant. But your pick was right. You picked the right guy. Whoa, that was insane.
Yeah, that was like visually, that was very satisfying. That's what that was. That's like unfortunately, that's for Curtis, you're going to see that highlight every single time. Blaydes
that was a big one.
Man.
That
first time he went for actual like double leg, single leg takedown.
That was the way to do it. Get the uppercut as he's coming inside with his chin out, and he executed that perfectly. And that's something they practice too. Like, damn, that ground and pound.
I mean, bro, like this is the danger with Derrick Lewis. You can be fighting the perfect fight.
Oh my god,
there was literally nothing. There was nothing that Curtis Blaydes did wrong. There was nothing he did wrong up until the point he gets knocked out. He outstruck him. Outrageously outstruck him, outclassed him the entirety of that fight until he found himself unconscious.
Man, I mean, there's something to say though. Like we know the heavyweights hit hard, and if you're gonna be a champion, you've got to figure out a way to. And it's a big ask, but you got to find a way to take those shots because he got finished twice by Ngannou now, once by Lewis, and like this is if you're the UFC heavyweight champion, this is the sort of danger you're going to face fight in and fight out. So you got to figure out a way to not put your head there. And I know it's easier said than done, but really that's what it takes, right?
Yeah.
Don't get knocked out.
Don't get knocked out.
That way you don't lose the fight.
Stipe Miocic had it right in the first one. Just don't get knocked out. And he had it right in the second. Like Stipe Miocic, to his credit, he's done a terrific job of learning how to stay at like 2 hands distance or all the way in. He is at no point ever in the first Ngannou fight or the second and third Cormier fights in a position to get KO'd.
Man, that was
rough.
I'm still like on another. Yeah, I can't believe what I just saw.
So
like
what does this do for
again.
Derrick Lewis though? Like 4 in a row, he's up there.
We got to have those conversations again, man. Because about where he fits in the title picture.
I'm gonna need that Ngannou rematch.
He has a win over. He has a win over Ngannou. We can talk about how bad that fight was, but he has a win over Ngannou. You can argue that he deserves a title shot over Ngannou right now. I know that fight is official, but you can at least consider him for the winner. Especially if John Jones is having his contract negotiations go awry, which it sounds like it is. I mean, he seems like the next guy that you would put up there, because then, okay, Volkov had a big win over Overeem, but damn, Derrick Lewis did knock him out cold too.
Yeah. Do we let's just predict as we wrap up here, because I got some post-fight stuff. World's shortest watch along, by the way. Better than the start to finish prelims ones you do, Ant.
Bruh.
Do you guys think a second Ngannou Lewis fight shapes up like the first one? Like, was the hesitancy because of the power coming from Lewis, or do you think that was strictly a consequence of like Francis's confidence being shattered after losing that Miocic fight?
I think it's a little bit of everything. The confidence being shattered on Ngannou. Lewis was complaining that he had severe back issues leading up to that fight. His knee was still blown out, so he was physically compromised and fearful of power as well. So, Lewis has been knocked out a couple of times, so he knows his chin isn't invincible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I think it was just a bad night for both of them, and it led to an even worse fight. So maybe if they do it again, we'll see more violence. I probably favor Lewis in that, because we've seen Ngannou gas and lose his danger. Lewis is always dangerous.
So I'm looking at the rankings right now. Tell me what you think, because I'm gonna say this under the expectation that John Jones gets the winner of Miocic versus Ngannou too. You could either match up Derrick Lewis with Alexander Volkov for a number 1 contenders fight. That'll be ranked 2 and 5, or you can do Lewis versus the winner of Rosenstruck versus Gane. So that'll be basically number 2 versus number 3.
That's it. Rosenstruck and Gane winner. That's it. Like I have no desire to see the Volkov fight again. Can't get any more fun. So Rosenstruck and Gane, the winner fights Lewis.
All right, guys. I think, not a whole lot of time to cultivate those super chats. If you want to sneak it in, do it now. I think we'll have to call it a night, guys. Wish we'd spend more time together. We'll just have to do it again. I'll let you guys hit all the social medias and the plugs and all that. We'll go left to right. So, Anthony, let's start with you, man. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Ant Walker MMA. You can find my YouTube channel, The Walkout Network. I do a show called Unleashed. Goes live every Tuesday, so check that out, along with Jay Petrie and Ben Duffy. And other than that, you can check my work on MMA On Point and The Body Lock.
Boom. Lucas?
My turn. You can find me Instagram, Twitter at Grandsire MMA, YouTube channel, Lucas Grandsire. Subscribe, trying to get to 500, sooner rather than later. Find my work on my MMA News, where I do all the interviews and stuff. And then, I think that's everything. Oh, yeah, and I do the podcast, too, so you can find that wherever you get your podcasts at. And, there you go. That's everything.
Cool. That was the second round knockout, right? I'm trying to get this graphic done.
Yeah.
Second round knockout. Boom. Guys, if you're here, I think you know where to find us. So you can follow me at Shaq_food. That's Shaq with a K. Please hit subscribe, youtube.com/Fightful MMA. We're trying to, that's really starting to kind of grow and get constant viewerships. We want to keep that train rolling. We thank you very much. Shout out to everyone on Facebook, Periscope for tuning in as well. Hope you guys had a good time. We will be back obviously next week with the watch along, probably again just for the main event of Rosenstruck versus Gane. We'll have a media picks video out tomorrow morning. Ant Walker's in that one as well. I guess that's all, guys. Let me hit you with that shitty outro before we get going. So stay tuned for everything Fightful and so delightful. Peace out.